planning early, so communication early to kids. Moves are stressful, so for the whole family usually, but generally kids are, highly adaptable, and they settle into the idea pretty quickly. So communicating that where they're going and different activities to do in the new location can be helpful early on, as well as getting them engaged in interests and activities and hobbies at the new location. And so looking into maybe potential girls or Boy Scout troops, local parks or local churches, things like that can be helpful just to get them excited about the move. Specifically during travel, things like audiobooks can be helpful depending on the age of the child, and making sure during the moving specific season when you have the packers in the homes that you're setting aside like favorite toys, activities, games, so that those aren't packed away, because you're going to want to have those really close by, so that they can access those things during travel, because that will keep them engaged, which will be important. There are also, fun road trip games, if you're driving, that the whole family can engage in, that can be pretty fun. Once you're there, really just checking in with them. So like I said before, if you have already planned certain activities, unique to that location, so going to certain parks or museums or aquariums that are unique to that location, following through on those plans, checking in with them regularly as they're maybe starting with a new Boy Scout troop, or starting with a new school. How are their teachers? Are they making friends? So really just keeping that open dialogue daily and checking in with them to see how they're adjusting to the new location and going from there. If they're already engaged in treatment at their prior duty station, checking in early with that the receiving clinic to get that appointment, because it typically takes about a month or so to get in to be seen. Usually the standard is within 30 days for that initial appointment. And so checking in early, getting that appointment on the book so that they can continue care with their therapists or psychiatrists, etc. Kids sometimes will shift in behavior because of concerns with poor adjustment, and really trying to get to the bottom of what's going on. So sometimes parents can get to the bottom of what's going on just by asking questions. Maybe there's a bully, maybe they're having a hard time making friends, maybe things aren't going well in their new neighborhood. Sometimes kids go from a neighborhood full of kids their age to no kids on the block. And so really just having a conversation, trying to nail down with the kid as to what's going on. So sometimes they can articulate it very clearly, and then you could kind of talk to the school and try to problem solve. But if that isn't working and it's hard to articulate, they're embedded behavioral health counselors within the primary care clinic initially, so that's the first stop. And if the behavioral problems are, out of the scope of practice for the IBHCs, which is short term for the embedded behavioral health counselors, then they typically will refer to the Child and Family Behavioral Health Service Clinic. So that's the kind of the route to go if there are concerns regarding, behavioral or mental health problems. Families that have issues with any chronic medical problems, physical disability, or mental health issues, they should be enrolled in the Exceptional Family Member Program. And so that's a program that helps to ensure that they are stationed at a location that has supportive services for whatever ailment they're dealing with. And so enrollment in that program gives you confidence that you're going to have military service available to you. But you also have in-network services locally as well as an option. So you can go to self-service platform to look at in-network services available in the local area as well, depending on your preference. Additionally, we do warm handoffs to the receiving clinics as well to ensure, they have background information on you. The electronic medical record also gives, any histories that future providers would need to continue on with care. In regards to choosing activities for kids, generally speaking, you should move with the passions and the interests of the kids. So if they were engaged in certain sports or hobbies at their current location that they really enjoy, it makes perfect sense to stick with those activities moving to a new location. Sometimes there are new hobbies or activities that might be a little bit more unique to that climate or that area, or maybe there are different clubs that were in one school that weren't in another school. And so I think introducing kids to new things and new options to see where their interests lie is also helpful, for sure. Kind of broaden their horizons in that way. Moves can be stressful, and for kids, sometimes they act out because things are overwhelming and things are out of control for them. And so, as a child, a lot of things are out of control, out of their control. And so, giving them a little control can make a world of difference and go a long way. So small things like allowing them to choose what favorite shoes or what favorite toys or what favorite clothing they want to bring with them and they want to have packed in their separate bags so that they can keep with them, because they can be very possessive over certain things and they don't want their things to get lost. And so just giving them that autonomy to make that small choice can help them feel more in control, and that can help with the moving process as well. As well as assigning like small tasks for them. For example, like maybe they're in control of, keeping the pet fed during the move or keeping up with the pet supplies. Small things where they can have ownership that can empower them, during the move and feel like they have a role and a purpose.